Everybody, welcome. It is that time of the week. It is Friday night over here at 4-Player Network, which can only mean one thing. That it is time to drink. And it is time to talk about video games and movies and people having sexy chats on World of Warcraft, because that's what we do. Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Joseph Christ, host of Cocktail Time. And with me, as per usual, is Bob Webb. How you doing, Bob?
I'm doing pretty well.
And Mr. Chris Davis. How you doing, Chris Davis?
I'm doing all right.
Chris Davis, we have to have a conversation.
Okay.
We need to talk about Godzilla.
Yeah, we do.
We need to talk about Godzilla.
Are you getting a gun?
No, I'm pulling out
He's
the
getting-
11 Godzilla films I got on Blu-ray on Tuesday.
Well,
So,
that's good.
yes.
That's good.
I'm going to be watching these hopefully this weekend.
I want to talk,
Delicious.
before we begin, the main entrees, which is Cocktail Time and the games we've been playing, and everything else. We need to talk about the new Godzilla movie.
I will have this conversation.
I feel like I have an unpopular opinion, and I've shared it on Twitter this week. My Twitter, of course, is at @TheJosephChrist. If you all want to subscribe to my Twitter and get white-knuckled on the edge opinion like this from me, I suggest you follow. I think the new Godzilla movie looks absolutely terrible.
Well, that is one man's opinion, and
That's
you
one-
are certainly entitled to it, but I think you're wrong.
I am mad. I just, the more I see of it, the more I think it looks dreadful. There's a lot of things. Some of it is the fact that there's a video I saw of Godzilla, and Godzilla who's like, I guess as tall as a 40-story skyscraper. I almost said 40-foot skyscraper. That would not be big. A 40-story skyscraper. And then he rises from the ocean like 30 feet from shore. Can Godzilla go underground? Here's my question, Chris. A man who has watched every Godzilla movie, does Godzilla have the ability to go subterranean?
There have been instances throughout the entire series in which he's been underground, but he doesn't actually travel underground. He doesn't have that ability to burrow.
It seemed like he was able to burrow. And then there's other things where I've seen some dialogue, and it looks pretty dreadful. It looks pretty bad. I think there was one clip I saw where there was this commander, and he was like, "Do you think it'll work, Japanese person?" And the Japanese person is like, "We think we have control of nature. Let them fight." It's kind of bad. Do you think it'll work, Japanese man? He doesn't actually say Japanese man, but he seemed he plays off that, there's that thing in cinema where, the Japanese person is a smart one and there's the dumb American, which is probably true to a degree, honestly. But it's just the more I see of it, why do they let the monsters fight in a city that still has people in it?
Well, there is the hope that they'll actually kill each other.
No, but why not get the people out? Evacuate the city. Let them fight in this city full of people. Why not? Fuck it. You're Japanese. You're smarter than me. You apparently have this all down pat.
You're making all these assumptions about the plot that we have no idea what's really going on.
So you're saying you think they actually evacuate the city before the monsters fight? You think before?
I don't even know what monsters they fight. I've been kind of in a blackout since freaking March. I haven't watched any of the clips that have come out.
Let me tell you about it. There's a flying monster.
I don't want to be told about it. Shut up.
I think they actually physically make Godzilla rise. Like they poke his little Godzilla nest like a bee's hive to get him out, so he fights whatever the other monsters are. So you think that before they poke the Godzilla nest, they actually evacuate the city? Because I don't think they do. I think that's a gaping hole.
I don't even know where and when they fight and what happens to them. I'm not even gonna. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm in a blackout right now. All I know is that the movie comes out in less than a week, and I need this in my life. And you're taunting me, and this is hurting me inside.
I bet Godzilla wins in the end.
I would.
Did I spoil that for you?
I don't know if that will happen, but that would be certainly an interesting outcome.
Godzilla gets beheaded by the King Child at the end of the first season. That's what happens. That's what happens.
End of the first season?
Never mind. You haven't seen Game of Thrones, apparently.
No, I have not.
Okay.
Because I don't have HBO.
Oh. Well, you don't have the internet?
Or anyway. Well, I don't really pirate shit.
No,
I'm a square. I'm sorry.
It's fine. You can buy the series on...
Yeah, Blu-ray. It's the first season. The first 2-3 seasons are on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
How much do they cost, though?
I've actually only seen the first season, but I think you just take it for granted that whatever character it is in Game of Thrones, they die.
Yeah,
that's not a spoiler. They die. They die.
That's the trend of the series.
Pretty much. I like it. I like how
after getting 2.5 seasons of Spartacus and a few other things, I'm kind of tired of the just let's have medieval sex and politics and kill characters all the time and on TV. I kind of want to do something else.
Is that a thing now? Because I don't watch a lot of TV. So is that like
it started with 300 and that became Spartacus and then that became.
But there's not a lot of sex.
Something else.
There's a lot of sex in 300, is there? Man sex? Is there man sex in 300? Is that what it is?
You don't remember the oracles?
I never saw 300.
Yeah, there were the oracles, and then there was the
is this Greece?
Concubines of the Persian dude.
Well, that's like the motto of the Greek army, which is never leave a man's behind. It's a gay joke. It's funny.
Ouch.
Ouch. 300. 300. See, if 300 had gay sex, I'd probably watch it. I probably would have seen it already. I'd have it in my. I would already have it saved on my external hard drive that's password protected.
Oh yeah, and the Tudors as well.
Oh yeah,
here. Yeah,
I heard about
there's
that.
There's just a lot of this medieval hardcore fantasy, politics, and sex going on, and I'm kind of tired of it. I want something else.
And Dano 26655. Well, I got that wrong. Who's watching in chat right now? He said there's total dude on dude sex in Spartacus. I'll watch.
Yeah,
that.
there is.
I'm more apt to watch something if there's gay sex in it.
Well, you should watch Spartacus. The first season is pretty damn good.
Right.
There's a lot of tension, and they build up a lot of story within a very small set confine.
Well, I heard the Tudors was good too. I just like you, Chris. I don't really watch television. I don't watch television.
The only series on TV I'm really watching are The Walking Dead and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So
I saw one episode of The Walking Dead, just one, and
which one?
The first one.
Okay.
I saw up to the point to where whoever it was, he had a cowboy hat on. He gets into a tank, and that's it. That's my experience with The Walking Dead. He hides in a tank.
Okay. Well, the second episode picks up right from there.
Right, well, yes, because that was the end of the first episode, so I'd imagine.
Yeah, so they introduced some.
That would be funny if they just never mentioned that again.
Well, I mean, it's worth checking out. If I come back for PAX, I'll give you my season copy.
Oh, we'd have to do that.
Hell, I'm not watching it.
Oh, right.
What am I going to do?
Twist my arm.
Actually, wait, I think it's on Netflix, so...
It is.
Yeah,
never mind, just fucking watch it on Netflix.
I can just watch it on Netflix. I started... You know what I watch on Netflix? I started last week, and I started watching The Running Man again. That's like what I watch on Netflix.
Oh, nice.
The Running Man. Such a good movie. Oh, my God.
Sick.
Such a good movie.
The way you were talking about it, I thought it was like they made a Running Man TV series? What?
No. It's the original.
Running Man's a pretty decent film.
Oh, it's so good. It's so funny.
They should have made a TV series out of it.
That would be
a
great
TV
there. That would be a great TV series. The Running Man TV series. Holy shit! But
of course, I think there's a lot of '80s movies that make pretty good TV series.
Well, when you think about it.
Oh, Snake Plissken, for example, they could make a good TV series out of that.
You mean Escape from L.A.
Escape from New York.
Either one. Yeah, and also, when you think about it, the 80s TV show American Gladiator, 80s, 90s, was kind of like The Running Man, but without death.
Without the violence.
Without the violence, but that was kind of like The Running Man. That was, I think American Gladiator will be as close to a real Running Man show as we'll ever get, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, a Terminator TV series would be good.
Well, there was one, and it was actually pretty good.
You're right. I never saw it.
It fortunately ended on a very interesting cliffhanger, and I was kind of upset about that.
Yeah. I didn't see it.
You should really see it. It's surprising with how low a budget a TV series has to work with, how well they did the cosmetic and visual effects. Even though it's like just a TV series. Yeah. Yeah. No, I guess I can see. I guess Netflix again. Probably. There's all these. I haven't seen Breaking Bad. I haven't seen all the. I'm so disconnected from that stuff that
I'm about the same. I haven't seen Breaking Bad. I haven't seen any of the shows. I haven't seen any HBO series other than Game of Thrones. What was the last HBO series I saw? I think the only HBO series I've seen through to completion was Band of Brothers. I mean, like any episodes. I haven't. It was like earlier than Band of Brothers. I don't think I've actually seen an HBO original series other than just Game of Thrones. Yeah. Well, because also their subscription model's kind of terrible. But other than that, like. I don't watch TV as much anymore. I'm much more of an on-demand entertainment. I haven't had TV in probably like fucking 12 years, probably. Well, I mean, our generation, it's really just we've been cutting cables like there's no tomorrow. So yeah, well, that's the way to do it. I mean, fucking, it's an outdated model. It's too expensive. Why are you paying for shit you don't need? Yeah, damn straight.
Although I'll tell you, I part of me does miss the 3 a.m. infomercials sometimes.
Those were entertaining.
Sometimes I do miss them.
What's going to happen to those? Because eventually, people are going to be cut off to. The trending is cable is going to eventually die.
You know what they are? Right now, the infomercials are two things. Now, when you get those pop-ups that say save $100 in your electric bill with this weird trick, or like trainers hate him. Like those things, that's the new infomercial. And also these mid-20 entrepreneur douchebags who are on the internet trying to sell people like the new get-rich schemes, like buy my cassette or join my group and I'll show you how to make money and be an entrepreneur. To send me
selling cassettes and books on how to make money being an entrepreneur.
Right. Just send me $300 and I'll show you how to be an entrepreneur. Meanwhile, I'm going to be an entrepreneur by convincing you schmuck, to send me $300. Which is what it's all about. Which is the whole, in the 80s and 90s, those commercials used to be rampant. The whole get-rich scheme, we'll send you a videotape, we'll send you books, we'll send you this thing, you know what I mean? And
they're still rampant. They've just moved to different channels.
No, they've moved now to the internet. They moved to that kind of. They moved to the radio. What's going on?
Come on, man.
Oh, what's going on?
Oh, Jeff just shared a very interesting.
Oh, say my name at lemonparty.org. Yes, there it is. Look how much money they're saving on gas right now. They're saving so much money on gas. Tons of money on gas.
God damn it, Jeff! I think you started something.
They're saving money on gas because they all carpooled to the same hotel to suck each other off. So, so that stuff still exists, and people still fall for it. Believe me. Believe me.
I'm getting thirsty. I haven't started drinking yet.
Oh, so then we should probably do our toast of the week. All right. Oh, God. I don't know who I'm going to toast. I haven't played that much this week. It's been kind of crazy. So we're going to have Chris Davis go first.
Wow. Thank you for volunteering me while I'm in the middle of eating my sandwich. Well, tonight, I think it's pretty obvious what I'm toasting to tonight, but I'm drinking...
I don't know.
Some sweet tea with some vodka.
Very nice.
And then some Snow Queen vodka. That's what's in there.
Snow Queen! Nice.
Really good stuff. Really good stuff.
The
Very
gown
smooth.
makes it look like she has nipples on it. Just saying.
No.
I know she has a gown and it's covering her boobs, but from the degraded quality on the webcam, it looks like you just showed everybody a naked woman.
Yeah, I know. And this was
It'd be
years
the-
ago. This was Logitech's top of the line, webcam.
But it'd be the first time our crowd saw naked women. So.
Yeah, well, they just saw a bunch of gay men, old men.
Yeah, they've probably seen more of that than.
Yeah. And so I'm tonight I'm toasting to the new Godzilla film, which comes out Thursday at midnight. I am sufficiently hard for that. I need it in my life, and I cannot wait to watch it.
All right. Excellent. Bob Webb, why don't you go next?
So I'm actually gonna go back in time. I recently finished a game, fully finished a game. I got 200% in Fez this week.
Oh, nice.
And that, surprisingly, there was a lot of areas that I missed that I could have gone through my first time, and I just didn't. And it's, I was really impressed, specifically on how the music is interwoven with some of the gameplay in certain areas. It's really cool. It's
nice.
There's some awesome parts to that game that it's easy to miss, not to find these specific levels, but there are certain glitched out levels where the music is interwoven with the platforms, appearing and stuttering and disappearing and whatnot, and it's really awesome. I'm kind of bummed out I didn't see it the first time through, but now that I've 200%ed it, of course with a little help from the internet. But I'm kind of sad that we're not going to see another copy of that game, because just seeing more of what they're playing with that mechanic of just rotating the world. There was a fucking ton of stuff they could have done, an additional more stuff they could have done, and it's sad that we're not going to see that. Which that's a bummer. And I'm drinking. I got a shot of rum, and I've got an empty glass here with quickly melting ice, and I'm gonna go for the high quality margarita.
Is the can one? The can one is back.
It's
excellent.
The margarita.
Oh, see, my corner store needs a better quality. Going for better quality.
Look at that.
Yeah, sweet.
25-ounce can. That's 25 ounces too much. I'm sorry.
Bud Light.
Extra ounce of fluid.
Bud Light La Marita. How fantastic. How fantastic. All right, so for me, my toast of the week actually is going out to Brad tonight. Because I watched his recent trailer talk, and I've been watching a lot of Watch Dogs videos because I have the idea that I don't think it might not be terrible, but I think it's not going to be as good as people think it's going to be. And Brad pointed out something to me, or tonight, or today, in the trailer talk that I never realized, is that if you watch the recent character trailer of Watch Dogs, Ubisoft goes through great lengths through the editing of that trailer to hardly ever show any characters lip syncing. It's really funny. Maybe the lip syncing wasn't done yet, or just technically it's not as good as people would like to see, but they go through really great lengths to make sure that you never see a character really lip sync their lines. And it's brilliant when you watch it. You don't realize it. You almost don't realize it until someone points it out. And Brad pointed it out, and now it's one of those I cannot unsee it type of thing. So, cheers to Brad for being informative. I mean, really pointing that out. And what am I drinking tonight? I just have some Rasputins tonight. Is what I'm doing. A couple of these, and that's about it. So anyway, let us toast to our toasts and our toasts and our toasts. One and two. And three.
Ooh. That's nice.
Very cool. I would implore people to just watch the new trailer talk. It's actually pretty good. He's got some good games on there.
Are you saying it normally is not?
I'm saying
this one is particularly good.
This one's particularly good. No, I thought it was a very good thing to point out during that, because I had seen that trailer before and I had never realized.
Yeah, I watched it up to the Watch Dogs part, but I didn't actually. That was when I was going to run across the street. I got to the Watch Dogs part and then I had to jump off. But now that you mentioned that, it sounds like that was the best part.
It was probably the best part.
I'm curious because I haven't watched it yet because I've had other things to do. When the characters are talking, what are they showing on screen? Is it like montages or what is it?
No, so when the character is talking, so the most they ever show is a character maybe saying one word, and then the character is always facing away from the camera, or has their face covered, or they're holding up a gun just in front of their lips.
That is shameless.
Or it's just sort of like narration that's going on type of thing. But it's never like if you watch a trailer for, let's say, Grand Theft Auto 5, you see these characters doing these, narration, these monologues, looking at the camera and stuff. And it's nothing like that. So it's kind of funny.
Because I would think that if they're doing the montages as characters narrating over what's going on screen,
right,
then that probably means that they really don't need to show it.
No,
they don't feel that they have to show it.
It's edited as if the characters on screen should be saying the lines. But then it's also edited to make sure you never see it. Which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm watching that. It's kind of weird.
Oh my god. What did Saros just... Desert of Davis.
Oh god damn it. Somebody made these things.
Wait, is this a thing? Is this a thing that happens? Like, there's more of these?
I think somebody is making a series of these for various people on the site.
First of all,
I think there's one for Nick. I think we got one for me.
First of all, that's a bad...
Oh, Jesus, I just saw it.
First of all, I wish it was a better Photoshop
brilliant.
job. I wish it was a better Photoshop job. It's not a very good Photoshop job, and that I want it to be better. I want it to be better.
God.
I want to take that into Photoshop and fix it so you blend better. You blend more into the body.
I'm gonna sign in and favorite this.
I'm saving this on my downloads. Desert of Davis. Davis Desert. I like how it's called Desert of Davis, and they did it as if you wrote it about yourself, and then titled it after yourself, and then put yourself on the cover.
Well, if I ever did an autobiography, which I don't know why anybody would read that, I would have a chapter called Desert of Davis.
You should.
Now, what I don't know what it would be about.
Your sex life.
Wow. Bang.
Hey-o!
Hey-o.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That was too easy. It was too... It was right. It was in front of me, and I had to knock it down.
Jeez. So it's on my clock here. It says 10:43.
So you're saying we're almost an hour into our show, and we have not talked about a video game yet?
Very much so, sir. And I think that's what our show's about.
Yeah, we should probably talk about video games.
Yeah.
What have you been playing, Chris Davis? 'Cause I know for a fact that Bob and I have both been playing the same thing.
Okay.
So we can start with
I've been playing several things. I've been playing... I actually got Medal of Honor Allied Assault to run on my PC.
Finally!
So I actually played through that again. Mm-hmm. And man, I really love that game, but it has not aged all that well.
So I remember playing that. That was one of the only Medal of Honor games I actually played and beat.
So quick question.
When it came out.
Quick question: is this the one that actually is known for its D-Day scenario? That one?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
That was that I played. I I know that came out in 2002, right? Or 2001 or 2002, because I got when I moved to Seattle, I was living in a small little apartment on Bellevue and Pine, and I got a new computer at that point, and that was the first game I played. And I remember I played it on my PC, and it was like, oh my, like the graphics of that game at that time were mind-blowing. It was like, oh my God, this looks so amazing. Like the whole D-Day thing was like, it was like almost like Crisis now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't hold up. Doesn't hold up.
No, unfortunately not. The character animations don't really hold up. The combat, I remember certain weapons being a lot better than they currently are.
Right.
A few of the things. One thing is that this game came out in 2002, so this is before widescreen 16:9 became readily available everywhere.
Right, it was still CRTs.
So it's not programmed for that. So you've got to do some console specific and config code to actually get to 1920 1080.
Right. Oh man. I still had my CRT at that point.
Yeah, and even then, in the expansions, I haven't played Breakthrough yet. I only played through that once. But Spearhead, I'm 3/4 of the way through, and it doesn't scale the HUD exactly all that right. So, whereas it does it correctly for 1920 1080 in Allied Assault, it has just this default size compass on the screen, and it looks really bad.
Yeah. I was in chat when you were trying to stream it. You were having all sorts of problems getting that thing working on the stream.
So it turns out that this is a classic OpenGL game based on id technology,
right?
And no streaming program that I can find will actually allow me to stream gameplay.
So doesn't now I'm curious. Do you have an NVIDIA card?
Yeah. I've got
what about
GTX 580.
Will Shadowplay do it?
Shadowplay came out after my card's generation, so it won't work.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
No, because Shadowplay, it's I think it's like a direct, like off of the fucking video card streaming.
Yeah, and I tried DxTory. I couldn't get that to work.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only really way to make it work for me is to run an HDMI splitter from my computer into my capture card and capture it through there. That's the only way I can.
So out of your display into the
yeah.
It's like you're making like a autofellatio type loop on your computer.
Yeah, my computer is masturbating itself.
Yeah,
So
it's sucking on its own dongle.
yeah, but man, that game is so good. It's got great level design. It draws so many things from Saving Private Ryan. There's a couple levels in the game that are just modeled directly after that goddamn movie.
Yeah, I remember. I remember being very impressed by that game at the time, and it's a lot of those older shooters. They didn't have like level. I think, especially in a lot of the older shooters, the level design was much more emphasized because of the lack of visuals, lack of scripting, the lack of additional assets and whatnot. You just don't see that today because they just go like, whatever, it's gonna be a script. It's cinematic. It's like, no, you understand it's a fucking game. You understand what the players are doing. You understand, like this is how you get certain messages across. It's not just like, oh, it's cinematic. We're just gonna have some chump make this level because we pay him $40,000 a year or less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a linear as hell game, but the environments are designed just so that you know exactly where to go without the game telling you.
Yeah, they direct you without feeling like you're being funneled.
Yeah. All you need is your compass on screen, which points in the direction of your objective, and that's all you really need.
Well, it's because those games came out as sort of the midpoint between what we used to have with Doom, which is the maps are just these sprawling exploratory things, and the linearity we have now, which we all kind of hate. And it was sort of a mix of those two, where you couldn't really get lost, but you never felt like you were in a hallway, And nowadays, you just sort of feel like you're in a hallway, which is sort of unfortunate. But it was a good mixture, because I do remember playing Doom, and there was some moments of frustration where you would kind of get lost and like, fuck, where do you need to go?
Where's the fucking exit?
Exactly. So it was everyone like to be nostalgic about those old shooters, but they were frustrating in different ways,
Yeah.
But there was a brief period in like 2001 to 2004 where there was this great, little like this medium area, this soft spot that was really nice about the whole thing. And for some reason, we just sort of the pendulum swung in the completely other direction, and we got hallway rail shooters like we've got now. And
the quintessential example being Half-Life 1 as being that really prime, example of this is a beautiful blend of something that you have like where you have a direction, an obvious direction to go, but you can go explore. You can find this other bullshit in there. It never really feels like you're being, forced down this one corridor into these, chest-high walls and these gunfights. It's like, no. There's actually a little bit more story you can go find in the environment by looking around.
I'll tell you what, there's really, David used to say something really, really, really cool. And he used to say, I like to play games when they come out because there's really a moment when games come out that when you experience it at that moment, it's important. And it's important to experience them at that moment. And in that note, I almost feel bad for people who didn't experience Half-Life, the first one, when it came out. Because I don't think you can appreciate it for what it is playing it now if you didn't experience it when it happened. Because of so many reasons, but I mean, it had that soft spot of directing you where to go through fantastic design, but still offer you to explore. But also, it was one of those. It was the first game to really make the world into a character, and it exemplified that. The whole game starts out with you being on a train, and you just going through the world and looking at the world happening around you, and that was the first time you were really in a world that was alive, that was happening. Like it's almost like they said, we're going to make the players stay in the train and not be able to do anything, so they're forced to watch the world happen around them without their interaction. And it showed at that moment that, wow, this world is going to go on without me. As a player, you felt like this world is going to go on without me whether I'm here or not. And that was the first time that was done, because every other world that we've seen in video games, before then has been reactive.
Yeah.
Not proactive.
If you go into a room and they don't see you, they're just standing there. They're doing nothing.
Exactly. But in this game, the world was proactive. It was existing outside of your interaction. And it was kind of a brilliant design decision to make the first part of the game to force you to see that by keeping you in the train and watching the world, doing things around you. And that's what was breathtaking. I mean, I built my first computer in my life, 90% mostly just to play Half-Life. For the most part.
I built mine specifically for Half-Life 2 and Doom 3.
Yeah. And the good reasons. Half-Life 2 is one of in my top 5 games. And Half-Life 1 is up there too.
I can trump all of you. I built my shit back in like 94.
Yeah, I was playing. Actually, I don't think I was playing video games in 94.
No, I think the first.
No, I was.
Well, I mean, I played. I helped with PCs back in the day when we're playing Wing Commander 1 and 2. LucasArts area, the era of LucasArts. But I think the first PC I built was installed with Windows 95 and a 14.4 baud modem. And that was the day when I don't know if people remember this, but there's a website called Happy Puppy. That used to be a really big, at least for me, it was a really big video game website where they posted a bunch of video game demos, and I remember waiting all night. Like I had my modem going all night to download the 30 megabyte demo of it was a God game. I think it was a Peter Molyneux game. It was like God, Jesus Christ, what was it called?
Populous?
Yes, I think. Is Populous that old?
I know it's a 90s game, but I don't know
it might have been Populous. I think it was pretty damn sure it was a Peter Molyneux game. But I'm not too sure. Populous. When was that? It would have. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the screenshots now. This is the Populous. It was Populous or a spin-off of that. But yeah, that was the era where no, Black and White. No, Black and White fucking came out so later.
Yeah, Black and White I think was at least 98 or 99.
It was. I thought it was on 2000. Like, it was late. It was really late.
That might have been, yeah.
Yeah. This was all 2D pixel art, so it was not 3D. But no, it's like the level design went off for that era is kind of a. It's interesting because people had a really kind of strong sense of what players expected to do with a balance of trying to give sense of a world and whatnot, and having people feel like they're actually a part of a world that's living and breathing. I know, kind of unintentionally, back when I was making my my MMO, I was working on a MUD. We had all these really stupid, crazy ideas. I'm pretty sure I mentioned them, some of them in the past, but a lot of it was having a world where if you log in, you walk around, shit's still going on. Like it's continuing to interact. Things NPCs interact with each other. They have daily life cycles. There's actually seasons and things going on where it's kind of really interesting. You feel like you're just a visitor coming in and experiencing the world, whereas sometimes these days it feels like you're just watching a movie, which is kind of boring in my.
Because there's too many producers and directors who really want to be movie directors and not game directors. And that's one of the things I love about Hideo Kojima, or Suiri, or who's the other guy who did he did Killer is Dead. Before that, he did the other game that I really liked with the guy with the "My name is Motherfucker Cinco Mores." What is it? Suda. Suda 51. Yeah, is that they still know that they're making games. You know what I mean? Like even in Metal Gear Solid 5, there's still gamey, funny stuff. In those other games, I mentioned there's like you pick up giant strawberries and whatnot. Like you have Suda 51. Yeah, you have to remember you're making a game, and I think too many designers and producers and most maybe directors forget that. They forget that gamey quality that things need to be. It still needs to have to be fun. I mean, of course, there's a place for it all. There's a place for it all, but I think there's too many of these cinematic type of stuff. Like one thing that I loved about Gears of War 3 was the arcade mode, where as you're shooting things, like numbers are flying out of them, and you're getting score and whatnot. Like it's awesome. Like there's something really, really fantastic and tactile about that makes me really happy.
Yeah, it's a kind of feedback of like being like, oh shit, am I going to get a higher score this time? Like that's the score attack type of mentality in the arcade era. That really drove people to keep putting quarters back in. It's something very cool. I'm
getting texted by Arch Craig. He said, "Do a shot call, and you can have my babies." Let's see. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I know what it means.
What does that mean?
You know what the shots call is?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We're going to save it. We're going to save it, though. We got to save it.
We got to save it. Prime it. Just don't forget.
I won't forget. The thing is, I can't do Planetside 2 tonight. Because I actually have to work tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no, that would kill you. Yeah.
I know. And considering how things are going, I need to make sure I show. Speaking of Epic Games, I know this is a news item, but we should probably talk about it really fast, is Epic Games came out, they did a stream yesterday where they talked about the development of Unreal Tournament 4.
Unreal Tournament 2014.
Well, whatever you want to call it.
Wait, 2014? I thought they... Oh, yeah, never mind. That's this year.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about it.
I'm confused.
I want everybody to know. Here's how I feel about this. So to give you guys a rundown of what the new Unreal Tournament is, it's being developed by a small team at Epic. Their words, not mine. A very small team at Epic. It's going to be free, not free to play. There's no microtransactions. It's just going to be free. And they're going to make it heavily dependent on community mods and community interaction. Whereas they want the community to make things like guns and maps and characters and all this kind of stuff. Before people...
They want to take what Valve did with the Team Fortress 2 community, creating content, and just make that one of the primary aspects of UT 2014.
But you're kind of...
Oh, there will be hats.
You're missing the elephant in the room. Team Fortress was a fully developed thing when the community got involved, right? They made this announcement, and they want community interaction, and they haven't even started development yet. I'm telling everyone right now, I don't mean to be a killjoy. This is not about Unreal Tournament. This is not about developing Unreal Tournament 4. This is about getting people to download Unreal Engine, learn it, and start developing on it. This is more about getting people to download and learn Unreal Engine than it is about developing Unreal Tournament. Because, in my opinion, really, like Epic, if you look at what they're doing, Epic is really not... I feel like, I don't know this for sure, but I feel like they're transitioning from AAA game development to smaller game experiences, like mobile and like PC, like smaller PC games like Fortnite, and concentrating more on licensing Unreal Engine. And that's what they're doing. I think they're moving out of AAA game development. And what they're trying to do...
That's a reasonable suggestion, yeah.
And what they're trying to do is get Unreal Engine into more people's hands. Because honestly, you can... anyone, all of us, can download Unreal Engine 4 and put it on our computer and start developing with it. And you don't have to pay... It's free. You don't have to pay them anything until you use it to build a commercial product. I have it right now on my computer.
Is it possible that they're... with this shift in direction, they're kind of afraid of what new engines like Unity and things like that can be?
Yes, they're afraid of like the popularity Unity has had. The Crytek engine has now started a subscription thing where it's like $9 a month or something if you want to develop on it, and they have competition. And this is more about fighting competition of other engines entering the market than it is about anything else.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think Unreal Tournament 4, it'll be cool. It's a cool social experiment. But this is not going to be an Epic-developed Unreal Tournament game. This is not going to be like... It's not going to have the love that like Gears of War had or something like that. Like, they're going to build the foundation, and then everyone else is going to put stuff on top of it. You know, and it's a great idea. It's a great idea.
They're using Git... So you can clone a repo. And
really?
Yeah, I mean, wow. Git's a great way to do it because you can have people create clones of the code base and then kind of merge it back in. Because Git is a decentralized source control system.
We use it.
That's what we use.
Yeah.
And it allows people to take their code, go over, start working on some shit, then go, you know what? This is really cool. I'm going to try to push this back up to them.
Right. And
then they can go look at it and go, you know what? We like this, but you need to change these couple of things, and then we'll take it. You know, that goes back to the person. Then they bring it back, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, we'll bring it back into this."
It's almost like editing a Word document that you send back and forth.
Yeah. But everybody has their own version of the Word document, and then they can share bits of it.
Right.
Like it's a really neat way of collaborating. Like it's not just a source control system. It's kind of a collaboration platform.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, I guess, the future of software development.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that they're going to be having like other people develop this shit, and there has to be a gatekeeper. Otherwise, you just get the most
it's gonna be crazy
shit in there.
I'm sure they could handle it, but it's really interesting, and it's like I said, it's going to be an interesting social experiment. I just think everyone needs to calm down. This is not... Epic developing Unreal Tournament 4. This is more about getting people to use and learn the Unreal Engine, which is really apparently amazing. I haven't tried it yet, but you know what? Real quick. I mean, you got to hand it to Unity because Unity, being so accessible and being so cheap, has really put the screws to these other companies, because now there's all these...
a lot of community support. I mean, Unity has a lot of community support.
Because now there's all these up-and-coming game developers, really talented people, I might include us in that, but I don't know, who have stayed away from, Crytek and stayed away from Unreal because it's like, well, that's what the AAAs use and we can't afford it. You know, so you have all these people growing up who like don't know their stuff, and Epic realized like, holy shit, like we need to get our engine in the hands of college students who are learning this stuff now because they're the next people that are going to buy our full license or that we're going to want to hire eventually. So they're trying to get it in the ground,
especially because it's you're coming into. I think we're even more so than a couple of years ago. A lot of the games and a lot of the new upcoming studios you're going to see are all independent, and if people are going to go what they're familiar with. They're not going to. If I was going to start a game, I would not jump into an engine I'm not familiar with.
Right.
Like I would not jump into a language I'm not familiar with. I would not jump into tools I'm not familiar with. I'm going to be using something I've used before.
Well, I mean,
or at least be able to start with it. Unless I'm doing some kind of like prototyping bullshit.
The learning curve on development alone, when it comes to learning something, is it's a lot of like it's huge. I mean,
well, yeah, even like with Unity, like I started fucking around with Unity more than a year ago. Like I started fucking around with it back in October of 20, or maybe like November 2012. 2012, yeah.
It's
that's when I first started fucking around with it, like towards the end of 2012, and now we're here almost 2 years later, like a year and a half later, and I feel like I finally have a really good grip on the tool.
But we're still like, wait, how do we do that?
Yeah, I know some of the things I still don't. I still don't know a lot about it. Like I know what to do and how to fix things and how to like go where to go to find what I need, but I don't feel like I'm an expert on it in any regards.
Yeah, that's why
like jumping into Crytek or jumping into the Unreal Engine, that would just be so daunting. Like I would love to try to make some kind of epic game in the Unreal Engine 4, but it's not going to happen until I get more.
I'm just really happy in the new Unreal Engine. It seems like that overabundance of ambient occlusion is kind of gone. Like you would always tell an epic game when the ambient occlusion was like huge, when there was like big shadows on everything like that. You know what I mean? And it seems they kind of pulled away from that a little bit.
What do you mean? The ambient occlusion is just for what you see.
No, that's different. That's occlusion. Ambient occlusion is a graphics visual thing. It puts a shadow in crevices of stuff. We have different.
Well, there's a technical term for ambient occlusion, which is
we have different terms.
Anything that's not in your viewport.
Right. We have different. Your ambient occlusion is different than my ambient occlusion.
Well, no, your ambient occlusion.
Ambient. It's called ambiance.
It's more of an
ambiance occlusion. It's more of a massage.
It's you feel it.
You feel it. It's like you feel it. It's an ambient occlusion. You know.
I think that if Epic is going to go for this goal of making Unreal Engine 4 this easily accessible development tool, I think they've got a lot of stuff they really need to work on because it's not easy to get into. But I think their ultimate goal should be to make it on the same level as the Doom WAD editors that came out back in the early 90s. If you can make it that easy to make levels, to make props and the whole 9 yards, then...
Dude, the Doom WADs were not easy.
No,
they weren't. But, I mean, I was 8 years old and I figured out how to make a Doom level.
I like how the Fallen Breed in chat just said normal maps for no reason.
Normal maps. Yes. Well, no, he probably was talking about your ambient inclusion.
Maybe. Well, those are different things.
Well, no. I think what we were talking about is specifically texture scaling based on distances and.
Well, normal maps don't really. Well, I guess you can texture scale normal maps. I would actually shut them off after a certain degree. I mean, you could probably save a lot of stuff if you just shut off normal maps up to a certain point because you don't see them.
Or you just have it baked, light maps, boom, done. But yeah, it's. I think they for me, particularly in going into Unreal Engine 3, it's going to be examples, knowing how the workflow is. Like, fucking, the one thing that Unity did right was the goddamn asset store. Like, the asset store is invaluable.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where it'll save me months, if not a year, on development time because I can just be like, you know what. I don't really have a lot of familiar with this one technical aspect. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to grab a bunch of libraries that someone already made for $15 or $20 or $50, depending on what I want to spend on it.
You know, it's funny. I want to have fluid physics in my game. $20, boom.
I go to the store and just go pick it up for $15. Boom.
You know what's funny is that so I joined the indie game developers group on Facebook. And I might leave it soon just because it's kind of useless.
It's too much.
It's just too much. It's kind of useless. But there was a guy who said, he's like, how do you all feel about buying, code or assets or whatever on the store and putting it in your game? And I responded and I said, you know what? You have no idea how many AAA studios actually outsource their stuff to other studios to get done. I mean, AAA studios do the equivalent of that already. Oh, so don't worry. It
is absolutely insane.
I mean,
what they have some studios do.
I know for a fact that the character models in Killzone 3 were not actually made by Guerrilla. They were made by a subcontractor. And Guerrilla gave them the concept art and they proofed it all and the kind of stuff, but it was actually made by a subcontractor. And it happens a lot, and a lot of studios do that. Because they save money doing that. So it's very common. So when an indie...
They can just contract out a third-party studio that has maybe 20 people working there, and they can just save millions of dollars doing that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it happens all the time. So if an indie studio goes to the asset store and buys something they need because they don't have the time or the money to do it, the AAA studios you love do the same thing. They just
it's not like it's cop out or anything like that. It's just they're making it easier for people to make better games.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. It's like any other industry, like the construction industry, which has a contractor and subcontractors, and they have subcontractors. It's just the way it happens.
Yeah, I mean, you get people who are specialized in certain things, so they can do it for you. And then you can worry about the things that are more important to the overall design for whatever project you're on.
All right. Or if you're Gearbox, you can subcontract an entire game, like Colonial Marines, and then give them no oversight and just pocket the money from Sega to make Borderlands 2.
And then if the shit falls, then you just blame the contractor.
Or you enter litigation and then you refuse to talk about it, even at a PAX event where you actually say you will not be taking any questions about Aliens Colonial Marines. They did that. They did that at PAX a couple of years ago after the whole debacle. And Gearbox always has their big PAX thing. They actually said before the thing, we will not take any questions about Aliens Colonial Marines.
For one, they were
Thanks for your $60.
For one, they were probably scared shitless of people just snapping at them and.
Look at what happened with.
But then there's also the possibility that they were under NDA because of litigation.
No, I think there's definitely legal issues that were there, but saying that we're afraid of fan reaction. I mean, look at the fucking BioWare panel with the end of fucking Mass Effect 3. People were so goddamn polite about that.
Yeah.
Especially at PAX, you're not going to get some asshole going up there.
You're not going to get assholes. They're just
dude, this was bullshit.
They're just going to say, dude,
I got turd up there.
They're going to say, you know what I would have said? I would have said, my brain fell out of my head. What's the president of Gearbox's name?
Randy Pitchford.
Randy Pitchford.
Randy. I say Randy. I said Randy. Randy, listen to me. Randy, you and me go back no time at all. You don't know who I am. But I've been to your presentations. I've been to E3 many years. Been to PAX, been to behind closed doors, and you said to me, I know, you looked at me once. In that 40-minute presentation, you looked at me once, so I know it was to me. Randy, you said to me, we have a next-generation lighting system. Those words came out of Randy Pitchford's mouth. I'm not bullshitting anyone here. Randy Pitchford said we have a next generation lighting system in Aliens Colonial Marines. I want you all to put in Colonial Marines right now. I'll wait. And you let me know if you see a next generation lighting system. A lighting system where even world geometry didn't make shadows. The original Fear had a better lighting system. than Aliens Colonial Marines.
Yeah.
I felt hurt. I felt like Randy Pitchford had given me a whole bunch of pillow talk and then just walked away. I felt like he was like we spent the night with me and then we woke up in the morning and he was texting "Good morning, beautiful" to 4 other men as he was in bed with me. It was very hurtful.
Well, there's more to that story than we're talking about. So
I know, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. But in the meantime, let us do this. Let us take our quick break. But we will be back in about 5-10 minutes. You're watching Cocktail Time Live here at 4PlayerNetwork.com. Everybody, we are back. You're watching us live here at 4PlayerNetwork.com, 4pp.tv for the cool kids. Want to thank everybody watching us live right now, especially thank you to our subscribers, people like Reborn Revolution, people like Mika Baozu, Chai Tai 805, Scrawny Flannelman, Yak Jack, Arch Craig, all you beautiful, beautiful people. If you do like what we do here at 4Player Network, we do ask that you think about subscribing. You can do so over on Twitch TV. The price is $4.99 a month, and for that you get no ads on our broadcast, no ads on our website. You get exclusive content like our dinner times and our top 5. You get early content like our video reviews. And you get the chance to be chosen as Chatter of the Month. And if you get chosen as Chatter of the Month, you get to decide what games we play on our broadcast that month. And we'll also do a podcast for you. But if you can't afford,
if you live in the United States, you might get a sweet-ass T-shirt.
You might get a T-shirt too. But we do love all of our viewers. If you can subscribe, we love all our viewers. People like the Fallen Bread. People like Rhinox Garland. People like Koshiro. People like Cool Chrono and Spire Wrecker. If you can't subscribe, we do thank you for watching us. But we do ask that you maybe even subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is free. Pass our shit around and all that good stuff. We have any good stuff coming on the pike? There, Chris. What's coming down? What's coming down the? What's scheduled? What's scheduled
for our subscribers?
For everybody. What's coming? What's coming?
Well, I'm halfway through it, but I'm gonna have the podcast video for episode 361 up probably tomorrow-ish, if not Sunday.
All right.
Working on that. Zach should finally be done with his classes, and then we can start doing top 5 again with him.
Zach is alive. We were worried about that.
Yeah, we were actually kind of worried about him because we hadn't heard from him really since PAX all that much. And we've got some dinner times coming. We're doing some things. But mainly the real focus right now is building the new website, and that's Nick's total focus.
Right. So, and the new website apparently is supposed to, enhance the positives of the things that we do here, and throw down the negatives, I guess. Right? Like more video. More podcasts,
more video and feature content,
more feature content, podcasts, less news,
written stuff.
Because I tell you what, there is no reason for us to do news. I mean, we do it on here because we talk about it, but there's no reason to do straight news at all, right?
There really isn't, because there's 10,000 sources, and I think people really want to come for opinions rather than just news content.
Sure. News content's boring. Fuck that shit. Fuck the news. Fuck it up its hairy asshole. Right, Chris? Agree with me. You have to agree with me. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to what Bob and I have been playing. What?
I didn't mention all the games that I played, sir.
You're not done? I thought you were done.
I'm not done. I've played multiple games this past week.
Jesus
These past
Christ.
2 weeks.
All right, go ahead.
Moron and Musha?
Did you play more?
Yes.
Oh, and Payday? I bet Payday's on there, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm playing a metric fuck ton of Payday.
Yes.
But,
Second Life?
Second Life?
No.
Have you gotten a new distended anus in Second Life yet? I'm saving up.
I have not even attempted to install that program.
I'm saving up for the good one.
No, you gotta install that distended anus.
Yeah, you gotta get it on you.
Yeah.
No,
if I get
it's not for me.
If I get into Second Life, I want to make a lizard man with the distended anus.
Somebody's probably already done that.
Probably.
But
would it be a distended anus at the time, or would it be a distended cloaca?
No, it would be a lizard man with a human ass and distended anus. He's a mutant. He's a mutant. He's been cursed by God with this damned human distended anus. It's like Hitler. Like Hitler got reincarnated. He's like, Achtung! I'm lizard man with distended human anus. I like how you're sipping the beer margarita like it's like a classy drink.
Oh,
like,
so good.
You have to just put one pinky up when you do it. That's how you do it
Here we go,
classy.
let me do it.
Yeah.
There you
There
go.
it
That's
is.
the pompous look, all right.
There it is. Yeah.
Take that, fucking Bug Light. Bug Light? Jesus Christ.
Bug
No,
Light.
that's an appropriate name.
Yeah. So what else have you played, Chris Davis?
Well, I was going to talk about Payday 2 because
Why?
a brand new
we
DLC
always-
pack came out that changes the way you play the game again.
So it's a new bank?
No, it's not new levels. It's new weapons and new level aspects that they've added.
I'm just saying we talk a lot about Payday 2.
Well,
maybe we should skip this
Me
one.
talking about it is because A, it's a very damn good game,
Right.
and B, I keep trying to convince y'all to fucking play it,
Are you playing
and
on
you
PC,
won't do it.
or- are you
I'm playing on PC.
Okay, all right. Next time it's on sale, I will totally jump on that.
I don't want to hear about the new weapons because that's boring. Tell me about the new level stuff.
Well, the new level design, they've added what are called vantage points, and they tie into the weapons because they add sniper rifles. And so, for a nominal fee, as an asset before most of the maps, you can buy a vantage point for like 10 grand in in-game currency. That gives you access to like a roof or maybe a platform or a crane that you couldn't get to before. That was in geometry, but you could never access it. Well, now you can. And in addition to having that, spot that has very little access to the enemy AI, there's also zip lines you can take to and from specific points on the map, and that really helps with mobility. That really helps gating the enemies away from the primary objective. It's really useful.
Wait a second. Dano2565 just said something. He says, I wish Grand Theft Auto 5 had heists. Fucking dumbass Rockstar. Are we saying that they still don't have heists in multiplayer?
I don't think they really do.
Holy shit.
I mean, to be fair, the heist system in GTA 5 in the single player was heavily scripted, and you really didn't have all that much control over what was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, the ideal system for GTA 5 should have been, you have this objective, you figure out how to do it. That's it. You just research on your own.
I personally think they're too busy making Grand Theft Auto 5 for next generation consoles, which I think will be announced at E3, but that's just me.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sony announced exclusivity. But
Oh shit!
that would be really interesting.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't think Microsoft would allow that.
I don't know.
Oh, what if they announced it for the Xbone? That would be so. There would be so much anger. It would be hilarious.
I don't think they would do that. I don't think Rockstar would do that.
I don't know. Microsoft has money. They'll find a way.
Rockstar doesn't need money. Are you kidding? Rockstar wants sales. They don't need money.
Oh no, I know they don't care about money, but
They can
Take-Two
get get more money by being multi-platform than Microsoft could give them for being exclusive. So, and honestly, there's a lot of people in the upper tiers of Microsoft who are not looking at the Xbox division with really good eyes and might not give them the budget they want to buy things like that.
Maybe, but I mean, with Phil Spencer taking over, it may change.
We'll see. We'll see. I think they need to move away from the TV stuff and into more gaming stuff. And I think
they absolutely do. They're completely off message last year.
He's the person to make that happen. So
yeah, I think he will too.
yeah.
So, but
besides Payday, I don't want to talk about Payday anymore. I'm done. I'm done with it.
Okay.
What have you been playing besides?
Just
Payday?
so you know, I may bring it up next week.
Why?
Because why not?
Why? I know you will.
Because
All right.
it's a wonderful game. But the other game I've been unfortunately playing.
Unfortunately.
So a couple weeks ago I beat Onimusha 3. Really good game. Not as good as I remember it, but still pretty much worth playing through at least once, if not twice. And I was done. I was finished with the Onimusha series. I was ready to quit. And then it came to my attention that some fans got together and decided to make a fourth Onimusha game.
Just fans did it?
Yeah, it's done by some fans. It's really a top-notch job just how much quality went into this product. It's called Onimusha Dawn of Dreams. I mean, look at this box art. First off, you see, it's got the Capcom logo.
I might
it's got
have that.
backing. It looks really impressive for a fan product.
Right.
If this were an official product from Capcom, which there's no way this is an official product, I would be extremely disappointed and want to set this on fire. But since I know this was made by fans and not anybody who was willingly paid to work on such a project,
right,
it's not bad.
Okay,
it's tolerable.
Right.
The combat is annoying. They still haven't fixed some of the bugs. In fact, they reverted on some of the combat mechanics. The camera system is annoying as fuck. The characters are atrocious. The voice acting is abysmal.
So get to the good stuff.
Why did I start up saying that I was upset to play this?
So it's bad. It's just bad.
It is bad. This is such a bad game. I don't understand why people actually defend
here's my question though. It's fan made. How did it get a Capcom logo on it?
I'm thinking somebody back in 2006 had a copy of Photoshop CS1 or 2 and decided to mock it up. I mean, there's legal text and there's a barcode.
Are you sure this wasn't put out? Oh wait, hold on. Are you sure this wasn't put out by Capcom? Because it sounds like there's a barcode and the Capcom label and there's a number on it and. Like this doesn't sound like fan made to me. This sounds like Capcom put out a really shitty game. They're like, oh no, fan made. No, we got nothing to do with it. Fan made.
Well, see, I would say that, but the copy I bought didn't come with a manual, and I don't think a team of fan developers would be able to assemble a
no. This is
color manual from 2006.
No.
This was 2006.
No.
This was the time in which manuals still existed.
This is where you're wrong. This is where you're wrong. Because if a fan made this, god damn it, they would have a giant manual and they put a map in there and they would go the extra mile. And I'm telling you, 1996, fuck that shit. I was in bands in 1996. You know what I was doing? I was in the library pulling out books with pictures and cutting them out with tape, and I was using scalpels and tape and putting them together and using their copy machines to make flyers and make cover things and booklets for my fucking bands and zines and all this kind of stuff. And a fucking fan-made shit, they would make sure there's a manual in there. You know who wouldn't make a manual? Capcom. They wouldn't make a manual if they had a shitty product. If they thought they had a shitty product, they wouldn't make a manual. But you know what? If you have a fan-made thing, they're going to go 110%. I think that was a cover. A cover.
Which Onimusha is this? Is this Dawn of Dreams?
It's called Onimusha Dawn of Dreams. It's
Why are you trying to say this is fan-made?
It's not fan-made.
Because it has to be fan-made.
No,
There's
it's
no
not.
reason that any respectable publisher in the world would put out this piece of shit
and
expect to make $50 on it.
It's not fan-made.
There's no way. This isn't possible.
It's not fan-made.
It's not. It says, like, the Wikipedia says it was by Capcom Production Studio 2.
Hey, Wikipedia is made
by
this is
people,
is this your
okay?
conspiracy?
We don't know who made this.
Chris,
we don't know who made this.
Chris, I want you to get some tinfoil and put it on your fucking head like a witch hat. Go get it. No, go get it right now. Go get it right now. You get
I
tinfoil.
don't have any.
You have tinfoil? You have tinfoil. You have to have tinfoil.
I don't have tinfoil.
What do you mean you don't have tinfoil?
I think I've got wax paper.
I'm going to play the Chris confession thing until you put tinfoil on your head. Okay, this is what's happening.
I do have saran wrap. How about that?
There is
this is happening until you put it on your head.
Fucked in the ass. Yes. There is documented
until I see you putting tinfoil or wax paper on your head. This is getting played
of me
over and over again.
Yeah. There is documented footage of me getting fucked in the ass. Yes. There is documented footage of me getting fucked in the ass. Yes. There is documented footage of me getting fucked in the ass.
I've got
yes.
saran wrap. That's all I've got.
There is documented.
Okay, that'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it.
But again, I'm saying no one would reasonably expect this to make a profit,
right?
You know, if it was made by a reputable publisher or developer. I don't see why anybody could do this. I mean, I understand why fans would want a fourth game and they'd make this, but there's no way that a publisher would make this. It's impossible.
I think they did. And it's just bad.
I don't want to live in a world in which Onimusha Dawn of Dreams was an actual product made by a paid team of dozens of AAA developers. No.
You know what?
It can't be possible.
If you can live in the world where the Holocaust has happened, I think you can live in the world where they make that game. I can accept 6 million Jews getting killed during World War II, but I can't accept a world where Capcom would have made this Onimusha game.
It's such a hard proposition, Joseph.
Rape camps in Africa? Fine. But I cannot live in a world where Capcom made one of these Onimusha games.
Imagine, being a huge fan of a great trilogy of games on the PlayStation 2, and then finding out that, hey, they made a new one, right, and it turns out to be a piece of shit. No, that is beyond... You can't do that to human dignity. You can't do that. That is just, it's rude and wrong. And no, they shouldn't.
I'm just telling you, Chris, this is a heartless world. It's a heartless, mean, terrible world that you live in. And I'm sorry that it took this to show it to you. But it's true. This is the world we live in. And you can make it a better place. You can make it a better place, Chris. Every day.
Please tell me how.
Try to make it a better place every day. I don't know. Carry an old lady's tampons across the street. What?
What?
No. Isn't that how you do it? Help old ladies by carrying their tampons across the street? They're heavy.
I think you need to work in your Boy Scout roles.
Have you seen old lady tampons? They're huge. Poor old ladies.
I really don't want to think about those things.
Poor old ladies having to walk home with their giant tampons. It's terrible.
That's a more appealing prospect of wasting your afternoon than playing Onimusha Dawn of Dreams.
Maybe.
Why? No, I'm not even going to talk about it. I can't do this anymore. I can't. I'm sorry. No.
Let's move on. Let's move on to what?
Please.
Bob and I have been playing. Are you ready for this, Bob? Bob and I, it's just kind of funny. There was some stuff. Bob and I didn't talk to each other at all. No, we talked to her this week. We didn't talk about what we've been playing, but we both at the same time played the same game for the first time.
Because we were following similar people on Twitter.
Yeah, probably is. So Bob and I started playing Hearthstone this week.
Yeah. Well, I picked it back up after playing the beta. Because I got in the beta after they showed it at PAX East 2 years ago? Or a year ago?
Right. I didn't get in there. I just got in this week. So here's my thing. And let me give you guys some background. I am actually, I wouldn't say old school, but I'm a Magic the Gathering guy. I cut my teeth on Magic the Gathering, and cut my teeth as Magic the Gathering has gotten more and more complicated with their incessant expansions and stuff every fucking 6 months or a year, it seems like. It's kind of crazy. So when I play a game like Hearthstone, let me lay it out to people who might understand what I'm saying. I hate the fact that I can't block with my minions. And I know there's taunt cards, and if you put a taunt card down, they have to attack the taunt card. I know that. People have been telling me that all fucking week. But in Magic the Gathering, any minion you have out can be used to block, can be used for defense. It adds an extra layer to the entire experience. And when I'm playing Hearthstone, and I have 6 minions out, 5 minions out, and I haven't pulled the taunt card for, whatever reason, and the other player can still hit me with impunity, it makes me fucking enraged. Because it makes me think, what is the goddamn point of having these cards out? The great magical thing about Magic the Gathering that's missing in Hearthstone is that in Magic the Gathering, it's all about sacrifice. Every move you make has consequence. For instance, in Magic the Gathering, if I attack with a creature, that creature taps, and that creature can't defend the next round. So you have to constantly be managing who you're attacking with, who you want to defend with, and all that kind of stuff. It adds this really deep layer to the offense-defense mechanic between both players. But like I said, the most important thing is that in Magic the Gathering, every move you take has a consequence. What you're doing in Magic the Gathering is you're managing sacrifice. You're constantly sacrificing. But in Hearthstone,
I know, man, because every move you make, every step you take, I'll be watching you.
And they're always watching you.
Yeah.
But in Hearthstone,
that's myself.
In Hearthstone, it's like, hey, get out 8 creatures and attack. Just keep attacking. Attack. There's no consequence. Just keep fucking attacking. Just attack. Hey, give them a +1/+1 and goddamn attack. It's attack, attack, attack. So Hearthstone is more of a game of attrition than it is about tactics. And that kind of bothers me. Like it's like Hearthstone's about attrition and if you get the right cards out. And that's it. Like even in Magic the Gathering, if you get shitty cards, you can still manage those cards and win. You can still manage it. But in Hearthstone, it's all about who gets the better cards. And if somebody gets the better cards, they're just going to win. That doesn't matter. And that's what kind of pisses me off. But here's the magic of Hearthstone, and here's the magic of Blizzard. I still want to play. I still want to fucking play. I still want to spend money on cards because I want to play. And it's still kind of funny. I'm sorry, not funny, but it's still kind of fun. I still have kind of, when I'm not pissed off, I'm kind of having fun playing it. So, I don't know. How I feel about it is it's okay, and I like it, but I don't like it more than Magic the Gathering. But I will say this about Magic the Gathering, to kind of be equal here, is I think Magic the Gathering, they've gone off the fucking rails with how complicated they've gotten. They've gotten way, way off the foundation of what they should be doing. And they're like, now it's like there's hero cards, and you have to have a tackle box of shits to put down in your cards because there's so many fucking +1s, +2s, +3s on goddamn everything. It's kind of crazy. And I think Magic the Gathering's gotten a little out of hand with how complicated they've gotten. But in my opinion, Hearthstone is just a little too simplistic for me. And I want something in the medium. I want something that allows me to defend and have that tactile, that tactics of defending with my minions, but not with how off the rails Magic the Gathering is happening.
What was that game I was playing? I talked about it. It was called Champions of
Norath?
Oh,
no, that's
Norath?
No.
That's a PS2 game.
Isn't it interesting that we both replied Norath at the same time?
I know. Because I love that game.
What's it called?
Because it's a great game, Chris. It's a great game.
I've heard really good things about it.
Oh, it's so good. It's great PS2 RPG couch co-op. You should pick it up. Do you have a
Yeah, I play. I have both.
You have a PlayStation 2, Chris?
Probably in a box somewhere.
Yeah, you should. What? You should pull it out. Play some PS2
Duels of
games, man.
Champions.
PS2 games.
Maybe.
Oh my god, it's a lane-based computer TCG.
League of Legends?
No. Like there's 4 lanes and you drop cards and you have tactical
Yu-Gi-Oh?
layouts.
The Yu-Gi-Oh one?
No, it's not Yu-Gi-Oh. It's a more recent. It doesn't actually have physical cards. It's just a computer game. God, what
I
the
have
fuck
no
is it
idea.
called?
No idea.
Oh my god, I
Might
played
and
this.
Magic Duel of Champions?
Duels of Champions. It's Duels of Champions. It might be Duels of Champions.
It's a Might and Magic game, so I don't know.
Yeah. It might be Duels of Champions. Let me see if I'm gonna look it up real quick. But that has a lot more of a. It's a TCG bullshit that you see for most of those things. And screenshot. No, give me a fucking screenshot. Oh Jesus Christ! This is what game needs to have a fucking media. I'm pretty sure it's Duels of Champions. Yeah. where they have like lanes. You have to attack monsters in the lanes. If the lane is undefended, then you do damage to the player. Like it's a little bit more of a thought like that. And that was a fun game, but I think they emphasized a little too much of like getting cards for me to really enjoy it. Like,
well, the thing about Hearthstone is, unless you're willing to grind, you got to spend money on cards to actually do well. And it's the whole booster pack thing.
Not tech. With Hearthstone, you don't really have to spend money on cards to do well. When they have quests you can do daily, and they have the things that allow you to get cards, you can craft your own cards. You really don't need to spend too much money to be able to.
Not too much, but a little bit to get yourself started.
You don't really need to spend any money to be competitive.
I don't know. There's some good cards out there that I've been getting fucked with.
Can you buy specific cards?
No, so here's one. See, Blizzard, they're so good. They are so good. So you buy booster packs like anything else, right?
Yeah.
But they're brilliant because, we all know from being gamers and being physical gamers is that there's a really cool thing about buying a booster and holding it and ripping it open and seeing what you have and going through it, right? Blizzard in Hearthstone kept that feeling. Like, when you buy a booster pack, you don't just click a button and they show up, You actually get packs of boosters in your inventory, and then you physically, almost with your mouse, you pick them up and you drop them into a thing, and they do this really cool animation and they explode and your cards show up, and then you have to physically click each card to make them turn around. And what they did is they sort of replicated the tactile feeling of buying a pack of cards and opening them up. So it feels good to buy cards. It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
And I bought about $20 worth of cards, by the way.
You did?
I did.
God damn it, Joseph.
I know, I'm terrible. You can buy 2 packs for $3.
So you spent $20 cards?
Well, or 10 packs for $7, or $40, 40.
Yeah. $40.
No, I spent $20.
Okay.
I bought some packs. It feels really good to open them. I'm just saying they did a good job with the UI.
Yeah, for me, it's one of those things where I'm.
You're very dark, Bob. You have some lighting.
Am I dark?
I can't see you.
It's because the freaking lamp is behind him.
You have the lamp behind you, but your face is all. You look the shadow.
The shadow.
What things lurks in the hearts of man? The shadow.
I turned on the other lights. Hopefully that helps.
Apparently, Quality Beats. Jeff has been playing.
Hearthstone.
And 4-player podcast. I think it's Brad. MMOs and Blizzard games. You people suck. He's all upset that we've been playing MMOs. I'm actually surprised. I'm actually impressed that Brad. I shouldn't be impressed. I was just surprised. Brad played Diablo 3 and didn't get sucked in. I guess he didn't like it.
I don't think he's given it a fair chance.
Because I'm telling you, there's videos of Brad years ago for PAXs, and he was avoiding Diablo 3 like the plague. He was like, those people over there have the AIDS leprosy. I'm not going near them. He's very scared. I'm proud of Brad. There was a part of me when I saw Brad playing Diablo 3, I was like, oh, shit. But he ends up...
I think he was honestly guilted into doing so, though.
No, probably, but he ends up playing...
For him, I think.
He's played the Game of Thrones game more than anything I've ever seen him play, honestly.
The Game of Thrones mod for
Mountain
Clash of Kings.
I've seen him play Clash of Kings more than anything I think I've ever seen him play, ever. Maybe Just Cause 2.
Mountain Blade, yeah.
Yeah, Mountain Blade. He's obsessed with Mountain Blade.
I think Mountain Blade is easily going to be one of the most played games we have on the feed this year. Not surprising considering fucking Dark Souls 2 came out.
Yeah. Mountain Blade is Diablo 2. But is there loot? I don't. So here's the thing. I only come into Mountain Blade and I see it and I see Brad swinging at random people and it looks like a really bad Arma mod. And then I kind of tune out. And it's my fault. But I don't see the allure. Is there loot and stuff? I guess there is loot. I guess there's loot and story.
Yeah, you can pick up items for your band, I guess, war band.
And we're getting off track. Bob, how do you feel about Hearthstone?
Me?
Yes, you.
It's one of those things where it's one of those games where I know I have to dedicate way too much time in order to figure out what's the best cards to be able to put in a deck in order to be competitive and just not be stomped whenever we go online.
Right. You know, you can just go to I found a forum. I like the Warlock, and I was like, I went to a forum like, how do you make a good Warlock deck?
Yeah, see, exactly.
And they're like, here's what you need. And I found what I needed, and I put it in, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of trying to find a good deck to go with, and I don't know. Like, I may end up trying to find one and then just kind of building off of that and figuring out what'll work for me. But it's intimidating. It's a lot of work to be able to put in to just be able to enjoy a fucking game.
Well, the thing about Hearthstone is that it's actually not a lot of work. I think it depends what level you want to get into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you just do casual games, it's just people playing basic decks and stuff. And it's like whatever, you know? But if you want to rise up in the ranks, then you have to start investing money and that kind of thing. It's really like a pick up and play sort of thing. And it's so weird because it's like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm fucking dominating this bitch. And the other times I'm like, oh my God, I get my ass kicked. But really, like I said,
yeah, and like I said sometimes before, I'm like, why I have so many taunt cards? Why am I not getting a fucking taunt card?
Well, that's just the way it goes, man.
I know, but it feels like there's too much random chance in there. Like, where I'll play the same against the same hero, like even the same NPC AI. I'll play against them 3 times. One time I'll get my ass kicked. One time it'll be 50-50, and one time I'll just kick their ass. And it's all just based on what I get.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the problem is, because you can't defend. It's all depending on whatever cards you get is if you win or lose. Like in Magic the Gathering, you can get a mediocre hand, and the other person can get a great hand. But if you're better at the game, you can triumph.
There's nothing you can do. Like if you're better at the game, it doesn't matter if your hand's shit or not.
Yeah, if you're better at the game or not, it doesn't matter. In Hearthstone, it's all about what hand you get. It's all chance. That's why it sucks. But for some reason, I want to keep playing it, but it sucks. I mean, it's like like I said, Imagine the Gathering is like, oh, I got a shitty hand, but the person I'm playing against is awful, so I can still win. But in Hearthstone, you can be awesome, but if you get a shitty hand, you can lose if the other person got a better hand than you. It's all
that's the thing. Like,
chance.
if you have the odds that are stacked against you because it's just random roll dice, like, I'd rather play a game where the odds are equal. Like, I don't want fate to determine whether I'm going to get my ass kicked or not during the game.
I want skill. I want skill to determine it.
Yeah, I want skill to determine that. I don't want there to be like it's a flip of the coin, you lose. It's like, what? Why? Why did I waste 20 minutes just because I had a bunch of bad cards?
Like, in Magic the Gathering, I can fill my deck up with 1/1 creatures just for defense. Just to be an asshole. Yeah, I got a 1/1 creature.
Jeff says that's like saying craps or roulette sucks. I mean, that's why I don't gamble. I think gambling is fucking stupid.
Hearthstone is gambling. Why? We need to regulate this
like those
shit.
games because you don't win. Like, you really, they're games where you're.
You know what it is? You know what it is? I got it.
Random dice. That is something you are never.
Bob, I know what this is. This is gambling, and the house is Blizzard. They win.
Well, no, I don't like gambling because I know the odds. If I'm taking a chance, I want to have the odds stacked in my favor. And I know with the random chance, like in other gambling or with card games, that the odds are not going to be stacked in my favor.
Everybody listen. These are just gambling.
It's just
you're not playing.
I don't participate in that.
I don't play against Bob. I'm not playing against random people. I'm playing against Blizzard. Blizzard is the house, and Blizzard always wins. Blizzard wins because they want their $10 for their 40 packs, 30 packs, whatever they get.
No,
this is Vegas, bitch.
When I go to Vegas or I go to Reno, I will spend enough money to get free drinks for the entire night, where I will spend just enough money, whereas if I went to a bar, I would have made out better.
You do that, just play slots? Just play the slots, and they'll just bring you free drinks.
Yeah. Just I play them real slowly.
Yeah.
You know, I spend maybe $10, $20 on a night. I get fucking
But you
trashed.
have like $50 of alcohol.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, you know what? I came out on top.
Because
Like,
they're hoping you like go like, I'm really drunk. I think I'm gonna try some blackjack.
No, it's stupid.
You don't do that.
I mean, how many people come out of that shit on top? Not many.
None do. So there's I've never been a gambler person. In fact, instead of if I was going to go to a gambling casino and I had $400 and I was like, I'm going to bet this $400. You know what I would have more fun doing? I would have more fun getting blasted, getting drunk, and then getting a video camera and setting it up in the bathroom, and then I would set my hair on fire, and I would smother my face in my own shit, and I'd laugh hysterically as I shoved the $100 bills down into the toilet and flushed them down the toilet. And then I videotaped it and put it on YouTube.
You'd probably make more than $400.
I'd probably make more. I'd probably make my money back.
It from your PlayStation 4.
I could stream it. Well, I don't make any money off streaming.
Oh, no, you can stream it and record it and then do it double dip.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, I would have more fun, having a crazy time, and physically flushing my money down the toilet, than I would in gambling. Because at least then I know it's going to a good place. My money to a shit barn. I'd rather send my money to a shit pool than the people who own the casinos.
I've been to Vegas 3 times, and I kind of budget out when I gamble. So I will set aside $200 maximum,
It's too much.
and I use that.
$200. That's
maybe
Jesus Christ. Here's the thing for me. I do not enjoy gambling. I do not enjoy putting my money on the line for nothing.
I don't even gamble in video games because I know it's fucking useless.
It's like $200. You can get a $20 blowjob. That's 10 blowjobs. That's 10 Vegas blowjobs. You can get 10. You could get 10 alleyway Vegas blowjobs for what you spent in the goddamn casino.
Or 2 really good ones.
Yeah,
mind-blowing ones.
10 okay ones in an alleyway behind a McDonald's, or like 2 really good ones in your hotel room.
No, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I budget $200 for my entertainment.
Yeah.
Entertainment, quote unquote. I get you. Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I'll go see
nudge,
shows.
Nudge.
I'll get drinks and shit like that. And I don't gamble all that much, but when I gamble, it's usually fucking slot machines that are funny and entertaining.
You know what I would love to do? I would love to get drunk in Vegas, go to the penny slots, and then hit on the 80-year-old widow ladies. That'd be funny.
I've done that.
We can do like a Dirty Rotten Scoundrels thing. No, we can do like a Dirty Rotten Scoundrels thing where like Bob, you can be like the straight man and you can like hit on the old rich ladies and then you get them really into you, and then I can be Ruprecht.
No, you can't do that because you don't understand the nature of these old ladies.
What?
They are fiercely territorial. If you go near them, it's like they turn and hiss at you. It's just... You don't fuck with the old ladies that are sitting at the slot machine with...
No, because they're working on that, and they're going to get that money back.
But
they're working.
But I really want to be Ruprecht.
They will get angry and they will call security.
On Ruprecht? He's just... Yes. He hasn't taken the cork off the fork.
It's the nature.
I'm the only person who's seen this movie. I think I'm making references that no one is getting.
Which movie are you talking about?
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. I'm pretty
with Steve Martin.
Yeah. God damn it! I know I've seen. I know.
God, I love this movie. No one's getting my jokes here. It's a problem.
But I'm trying to remember.
It's a problem with being obtuse.
Yeah.
God damn it!
I was 5 at the time it came out.
But I've seen that in the theater.
You remember seeing that in the theater?
I was young. Of course I was young, but...
Oh
my God, it's 9:55. We got to do fucking news and shit.
Yes.
All right. I have no sound for that. Okay, news time! Hey, news!
Yay! You really need to get a clip or something.
I know, something, yeah. I keep saying that every week, and then I get busy, and then I forget, and then like I do a show, and I'm like, oh, fuck. All right, news time.
Well, let's start off with some release date news. We now know that Kentucky Route Zero Act 3 is now available. It just came out this past week, just out of the blue.
Everyone loved the first two. I've never played any of it, but it's been
I got through part of the second one. It's good. It's interesting. It's very surreal.
I haven't played it yet. I'm waiting for all 5 acts to be out before I actually touch it. So, because I mean, if it grabs me, I just may just fucking poop socket.
I have to pee. Everybody.
Keep going. Well, you can do that. I won't stop you. We also know that Transistor has been announced for a release date on May 20th. So 11 days from now.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. Isn't Super Time Force coming out soon too?
I think it's either this week or next.
Yeah, like a bunch of these games are just like, boom, coming out in 2 weeks. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, I think they realized that, oh shit, we've got E3 and then there's a bunch of good releases in 2.5 weeks. We should get these out now. There
should have been more planning than that.
There should have been, but
there should have been much more forethought than 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like they should have had that date like 3-4 months ago, and they should have been prepping for it. They should have announced that date like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I know, but what can you do? Anyway,
manage better. No, that's just my opinion.
Better management, yeah. We know that Dying Light has now been pushed to February 2015. This goes along with The Witcher 3, and I really don't see why, considering of what I played at PAX Prime last year, because it looked pretty far along. The mechanics were there, the gameplay was there. I don't understand why they're pushing it. But,
well, because
you know how much content goes into a Witcher?
You only saw.
I'm not talking about The Witcher. I'm specifically talking about Dying Light.
Because you only saw. I
understand why Witcher was delayed.
Well, you only saw one level, and it's possible that's all they had done at that time.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe I guess, yeah. But at least they got the gameplay mechanics down and ready. So. Let's see. Moving on, we now know what Sunset Overdrive actually is. For those who don't know, Sunset Overdrive is the new title from Insomniac Games. It is an Xbox One exclusive, and now we know exactly what it is. And it matches up to what NT Kernel said earlier this year about the product itself.
You want to close the door? Is he okay?
Are you okay?
Everyone all right? Just had a rat bail.
Oh, okay.
Decided he wanted to be on the floor.
So it is a trailer came out. It's a 4-minute narrated trailer talking about the basic gameplay mechanics. It's all gameplay. Well, it's mostly gameplay footage. And the basic idea is that it's kind of an Infamous-y style roaming open world, more Dead Rising-ish. Third-person shooter, with wacky weapons and mutant enemies and various enemy types, and there's a very strong emphasis in it on parkour movement and moving throughout the environment. And it looks like it might be fun.
Okay, cool.
So people should check out the trailer. I don't know why I didn't post it on the site, but I probably should. And it's due out this fall, so see. And I think we should at least address Nintendo's fiscal year results and their projections for 2015.
Before we do get into that, Dano made a good suggestion. So Project Beast?
Yeah, Project Beast. So last week, some images leaked from a supposed From Software project that essentially looks like a next-generation take on Demon and or Dark Souls.
So is this like... Is From Software treating Demon Souls and Dark Souls as two different franchises now? Like completely different franchises? Which is weird to me.
They're very similar in
they're the
mechanic
same
and story.
I think that they treat them as separate products, but I think they treat Demon Souls as the foundation for the Dark Souls universe and creation. So I don't think they're going back and making a Demon Souls sequel.
Yeah,
It
unless you
doesn't
want to talk
sound
about
right.
Kingsfield and all that bullshit.
I think they're either A, making essentially laying the foundation for Dark Souls 3 and or Dark Souls 2.5, which will be an expansion or something like that, or it's a whole new IP. So
I think what's going on here is they've realized that this whole Souls thing is a cash cow. And I think originally you had Dark Souls, or say you had Demon Souls, right? And they had Dark Souls because they had to change the name for legal reasons. I know they have Dark Souls 2, but I think they're realizing now that they can actually make more money on the Souls IP. And I think, Demon Souls is now just going to be another thing. I think it's just going to be a thing. I think it's just going to be a thing. And, honestly, these games are great. So more of these games, the better. But I worry about the fact that it's going to get confusing to people.
There's also the possibility. I just realized that this could have been a entirely different project that will be incorporated into the Dark Souls series, kind of like what happened with The Room for Silent Hill 4. A completely different game that they just changed and made into superficially a Dark Souls game.
Right.
And that might be a good idea, You may not get the brand recognition with, just the From Software developer name or from the makers of Dark Souls, tagline they can attribute to it. But if they make it into a Dark Souls game, maybe not title it Dark Souls 3, but make it like Dark Souls subtitle, they could really sell this project.
Well, I mean, people would start to associate a very specific formula with Dark Souls and Demon Souls. Like, they have a very specific formula now. Like, they're pigeonholing themselves with the game. So I can see themselves like saying, you know what, we want to do something that's a little different. We're going to take a little more risks. Let's not say it's the next Demon Souls game. Let's just say it's the next inspired game or whatever.
Yeah.
Spiritual successor or whatever. Like if they do like a Beast Souls was what Jeff was talking about. But if you do some kind of a take on a similar mechanics, but maybe you have something that's drastically different thematically or mechanically, then I think people will be less inclined to get all shitty about it. Whereas, if you say, oh, it's Dark Souls 3, we're going to take a bunch of risks with it, and then you get a bunch of fans that are like, oh, this is not Dark Souls. And instead of being like, no, it's an entirely different IP. It's kind of the problem when you have a very strong fan base is they expect things from you.
That's true.
Yes, they do.
That's true. All right, anything else?
Did you try anything new?
Other than the story about, well, did we talk about 2 weeks? No, we didn't. So ZeniMax is threatening to sue the living fuck out of Oculus.
What's really funny is that everyone's saying, "Oh, ZeniMax, you're drunk. Go home, or you're assholes."
This is a standard.
They actually have a point. They actually have a point. The fact is that John Carmack was working for ZeniMax at the same time that he was working for Oculus, and if his contract said that anything you create under our contract belongs to us, he's kind of fucked. He's kind of fucked.
This is a contract you will see in every fucking tech company in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And everywhere across the United States. It's a standard contract saying if you create anything while employed by us, it belongs to us.
The only real question to be said is, when was he working on this content? And
he was working on it while he was working for ZeniMax, and I know that because I was following the news.
No. I'm saying that, we know that Doom 3 BFG's support for VR was canceled. We know because ZeniMax wanted a partial controlling interest in Oculus, and they got pissed that Oculus said no to that.
Right.
But I'm wondering, is it possible that after that project was canceled, did number one Carmack make any technology after that? And number two, if he did he do it during office hours or did he do it from home?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It usually, a lot of times it doesn't matter if he's using company resources. So if he was using any kind of machinery or any kind of licensing, any kind of software,
the
company provided for him.
The fact is that Carmack is a company resource.
Yeah,
they can make that argument. Is that his brain, Carmack himself, is a company resource. Honestly, let me tell you something. Let me tell you guys something. In my day job, I work as an environmental consultant. Okay? If I, in my off time, contracted out to other people to work for them in my ability as a consultant, I could be sued and fired by my company for a good reason. And this is kind of what's happening here. I mean, it's true in my field. It's especially true in the more mechanical and programming field. They feel like John Carmack's brain, because he learned stuff while working for ZeniMax, while working on ZeniMax code, he learned stuff. So if he's still working for ZeniMax and he works for somebody else and does stuff, they see that as them using their resources. So everyone is poo-pooing this as, oh, no, ZeniMax, you're drunk and you're an asshole and you're stupid. They have a fucking point. Carmack should have quit. He should have quit ZeniMax and then worked for Oculus. But that time, the time he spent while still working for ZeniMax and working for Oculus at the same time, that can be claimed by ZeniMax. I know it sucks, and I know no one wants to hear it, but they have a case. And
they absolutely do.
And they might actually make out on this.
Yep.
They might, but again, they're going to have to do some forensic analysis of the Oculus code, which is available for free online. Anybody can look at the source code.
It almost doesn't.
And then they have to deal with Facebook.
It almost doesn't matter. It almost doesn't matter.
It almost really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They don't have to find the same source code. They can just say...
Well, like forensic analysis is basically, all right, did he check in code from this period to this period? Yes, he did. All right, we own that. Like, that's it.
Yeah, because his brain is owned by ZeniMax. That's what programmers deal with. Their brains are basically owned property. That's the contract they sign. Crickets. I like the crickets. I like the crickets. I like when we're quiet and the crickets. You can hear the crickets.
You can hear the crickets outside my
Yeah. When we were quiet, we can hear the crickets.
There you go.
I hear that. I'm telling you, like they are kind of fucked. They're kind of fucked.
They might be fucked. I think if they're fucked, they're going to be only fucked for a little bit because Facebook is just going to sick every lawyer they possibly have on this.
No. It doesn't matter if a lawyer says you owe them this. What's going to happen is ZeniMax will get about $150 million and they'll go away.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks for Facebook because they're going to have to pay out for it.
Yeah.
But it's
Facebook is going to have to pay off.
That is the risk you take when you spend $2 billion on a project.
Facebook is going to have to pay off ZeniMax. That's the end of it. That's it. I'm sorry, but here's the
reason. You won't hear much about it until it goes to court and they rule.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like everyone needs to know this, but when you get into high level corporate programmer stuff, you are property. Your brain is property, and that's just the way it is. And I'm surprised Carmack. But this goes on what I've been saying about Carmack for years. Is Carmack is sort of detached from reality. He's sort of detached. I mean, he's too smart for his own good. He's just sort of detached from reality. He doesn't realize, he just sort of he doesn't really give any he doesn't give any leadership to id, and he's just sort of doing his own thing. He's floating around.
Yeah,
brilliant.
He's really just given his own free realm to work with.
He just sort of
as
brilliant.
Long as he produces products.
He's just sort of brilliant and floating around. Blah 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 blah. Brilliant, but he doesn't realize that the things he does has real consequences. And it does. I mean, the guy basically doesn't have to work. He can live off what he's made off Doom and stuff forever. He's working because he likes to, but the problem with that is that he's just sort of like, he doesn't realize that there's consequences to his actions. And he's going to cost, Facebook some money because of that. So, this is nothing bad about Carmack. I love Carmack. This is reality. This is the reality of the thing. I like I love Oculus. I love Carmack. I use Facebook. I don't know if I like them. But, I mean, the reality of the thing is that ZeniMax has a point. And I've seen these contracts, and they're pretty cut and dry and all-inclusive.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people tend to forget that this is all based in business. Yeah. Sorry, video games, but it's all
it is
a
business
money and business and legal contracts. Like they have rights and they will protect them, and that's a part of it.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you're upset or you disagree with it. It's legally sound.
For that 6 months or however long that Carmack worked for Oculus, Carmack was the physical property of ZeniMax. And that's how they see it.
So what was it? There was a big news today about someone acquiring someone else. Was it Microsoft and Razer or something? I can't remember anymore.
I would have known about Microsoft and Razer.
I have no idea. Like
I know that From Software was acquired by Kodakawa.
Now you're thinking of so Epic or Neversoft got pulled into someone else.
Yeah, Neversoft is merging with Infinity Ward.
Infinity Ward. Is that what you're thinking of?
Was that today?
No, this was earlier this week.
This was something that happened today. People were talking about Twitter.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing all that much.
I don't know.
Fuck.
God damn it, Bob. What are you doing? Wasting our time.
I thought you guys know, because I was just like, oh, something big happened. And I was just like, tuned out.
Wasting our time. All right. Is there any other news?
Well, other than those stories, I guess the only thing left is the Nintendo NPDs and the FY15 predictions they have for it.
All right. So, we talk about Nintendo a lot. Just saying.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so Nintendo is doing shitty. We know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they came out recently, today or whatever it was, and they said that they are going to build new consoles for emerging markets. New ones. New consoles for emerging markets. And I should add that one of the reasons that they came up so short is because they put more money into R&D. Which is true.
Mm-hmm. So,
what are these emerging markets? And what are these systems?
Well, you would have to think, industrialized countries, but not really with strong infrastructure. So you would think Mexico, things like that. China, definitely China, for example.
China has a strong infrastructure.
Well, yeah, but China only recently opened up.
You think here's what I'm. Oh my God! I gotta make a prediction. Wait.
Oh no!
Gotta make a prediction. Sorry, I gotta put it on the nipples. How do we get the prediction out?
Oh God!
Yeah.
What is he doing?
I don't know.
Okay. My prediction is that Nintendo is going to take the pad, the controller, and make that an independent thing as a new handheld.
Like a big fat 3DS thing?
Yes.
With one screen?
That's what Nintendo would do. Nintendo would do that.
Essentially a tablet with a built-in controller button.
Yes. I think Nintendo is going to put out a tablet. That's what they would do. You know what Nintendo does? Nintendo goes, "Hey, what's everybody else doing?" And they go, "We're making a tablet." "Oh, okay. We're going to make a tablet, but we're going to put a lot of shit on it." Here it is! That's what Nintendo does. That's the thing.
Would it be more reasonable
what's everybody doing? Well, everybody's putting out video game consoles. Oh, okay! I'm gonna make a video game console, but I'm gonna put a lot of shit on it. You can move! There's a move on it! You waggle your arms around! Hey, what's everybody doing? People have consoles, but they like to attach their phones to it. Oh, okay. We're gonna make a console, but we're gonna put a fucking screen on the thing and put a lot of shit on it. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's Nintendo in a nutshells.
I think it's more reasonable to suggest that they're, instead of making a tablet-based console, that they're taking the Wii U as it is and just chucking the gamepad. I mean, by doing that, they save probably $100.
The gamepad is the best thing about the Wii U, though.
It's not the best part of the Wii U because it's so under fucking utilized.
No, the problem is they just opened up a bunch of development on Unity and whatnot for that tablet specifically for the gamepad.
Hey, what's everybody doing? Nintendo, everyone is really into health. Oh, okay. We're gonna get into health too, but we're gonna put a lot of shit on it.
And you're also supposing that if they build a tablet, that they have to build a entire network infrastructure that works so much better than the eShop, because the eShop is a piece of shit.
Hey, what's everybody doing? Everyone can really easily download whatever they want from the iPhone app, and you can just click a lot of things, and it downloads, and it's really easy. Hey, we're gonna do that too. We're gonna put a lot of shit on it. That's the eShop. That's my impression of the eShop. You like that?
Oh yeah, and of course, for all the games that you already own, you're gonna have to buy again to play on this fucking console.
Right.
And that's not even putting into consideration online multiplayer, if you can call it that on a fucking Nintendo console.
Yeah. Does Nintendo have multiplayer? This is a serious question I'm asking in 2014. In 2014, I am seriously asking this question. Do Nintendo games have multiplayer?
Yes, they do have multiplayer.
I had no idea.
But most of them don't have voice chat.
Of course not.
Most of them have to use friends codes, and they're usually laggy as motherfuck.
Do you realize that in 2014, the Nintendo does not have working multiplayer, like a good working multiplayer system? Hey, what's everybody doing? Well, Nintendo, we all have really good multiplayer with community options like chat and voice over IP and all that kind of good stuff. Oh, never mind.
It seems that for every day the rest of the game industry advances, Nintendo only advances about 4 to 5 hours.
No, that's true. That's true. They
are a fine company for 2006.
They're like everyone is running the Olympics, and they're like QWOP. That's what's going on. That's what's going on.
It's so sad. It is really so sad. That company just, it needs an intervention. It needs an intervention somehow, some way. I don't know how you hold an intervention for 50,000 people at once, but it needs to be done.
Yeah.
It's disgusting the way it is right now.
I guess we could just make some more playing cards.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. We also found out this week that Bayonetta 2 and Hyrule Warriors are going to be coming out this fall in Japan.
Hyrule Warriors. No one wants Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors? Do you people realize what's happening here? All of you, everyone watching this goddamn stream right now, you're all salivating. Your cocks are filled with blood. Your clitorises are pulsing. You all want a new Zelda game. That's all you want. You just want a new Zelda. Then you're like, oh, I'll buy. I don't know if I want a Wii U, but I'll buy one if a new Zelda comes out. A really good Zelda, sure, that'll make me buy a Wii U. And you know what they're doing? You fucking know what Nintendo was doing? They're making a goddamn Hyrule Warriors.
Oh,
Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, that's not all they're doing.
Because no one wants that shit. And don't give me that shit. None of you fucking people wanted that shit. Don't even fucking try to tell me I really loved whatever that fucking game was. I can't even remember the name right now, but it has all the. I always loved Dynasty Wars. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. None of you like Dynasty Wars. None of you
chat says he wants Hyrule Warriors.
None of you fucking assholes even fucking thought about Dynasty Warriors over the past fucking year. You never even fucking thought about Dynasty Wars. All of a sudden, like, Link's in it with his ass hanging out in his white goddamn pants and his fucking hat. And all of a sudden you're like, I love Dynasty Warriors. I've loved Dynasty Warriors forever. Fuck you. No, you didn't. You never fucking loved it. You never thought about it. You never fucking bought a Dynasty Warriors game. And everybody's like, oh, I love fucking Dynasty Wars. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You never loved Dynasty Warriors. Don't even give me that. Don't front that shit. Don't front that shit.
Fuzzy wants one.
He's the only guy.
He's the only guy.
He gets a pass.
He gets a pass.
No one else wanted Dynasty Warriors. It's Fuzzy and Jim Sterling. That's it.
Well, we should be holding out for Metroid Warriors or Star Fox Warriors.
God damn it. You know what's going to happen.
They'll find a way. They'll find a way. But that's not the only thing they're working on. They have another new project that they've announced this week.
Oh, really? What is it?
It's just their own Skylanders ripoff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a NFC character figurine based game that's going to be coming in the first half of 2015 that uses Nintendo figurines to interact with multiple games.
Hey! What's everybody doing? Well, we all actually like Skylanders. It's actually gotten pretty big. Young kids like it, and the older generation like it because it really harkens back to the 80s fad of there being toys attached to cartoons and everything they loved and their series. They really like that kind of stuff. Oh, okay! We're going to do that too, but we're going to put a little shit on it!
Seems to want to put a lot of shit on that. You know?
That's my impression of Nintendo doing a new Skylanders. You like that?
Yeah. It's not bad, though I don't picture, our Miyamoto or Iwata or Reggie speaking in Gilbert Gottfried's voice, but that's probably reasonable. Some middle manager in there.
Gilbert Gottfried? That's actually my sex voice. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, God. That's a little terrifying.
What are you doing? Oh, man.
Why are you putting that in there?
What's that thing? Oh, put that there.
Why is that going up my butt?
Okay, well, I'm going to put a bunch of shit on it.
Oh, it's going up my butt? I'll put a bunch of shit on it. I do love Gilbert Gottfried. I wasn't even thinking that was Gilbert Gottfried. I was just doing a weird random voice. But I do.
It's a mixture of like Gilbert Gottfried and Lil Wayne.
Kind of. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of both. All right. Any more? Are we done?
I'll allow us to skip the story about the $500 1080p NES.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, this is it. This is our last call. Our final thoughts of the evening, and I will go first. I'll tell you what. I have a love-hate relationship with Hearthstone. I don't know, man. I want to love it. I want to hate it. I want to love it, and I want to hate it. I want to get into it. I know people love it. I like the ease. The ease of it feels really good, but we'll see. I'm just... I don't know. I'm having this struggle this week about Hearthstone. Whether I love it, or I hate it, or if I love it, or I hate it. I love it. I hate it. I'm his brother, his mother, his sister, his fucking brother. I don't even know. No one saw that movie. That's how I feel. I'm going to play more Hearthstone. If anyone wants to add me in Hearthstone, my name in Hearthstone is Sardunos, Sardunos. I don't know if you can choose to play games with each other. I don't know. But anyway, add me up. We'll play some games. And that's my final thought of the night. Chris Davis, why don't you go next?
My final thought is that I am disgusted with some of the decisions being made across the entire 4-player network staff and how much they want to play this bullshit MMO called Final Fantasy XIV when they could be playing a very good, very fun game called Payday 2. So if you
there's a lot of Final Fantasy XIV going on. So Final Fantasy XIV is now me, it's Bob, it's Jeff, it's Nick, and it's Crispy.
I think y'all tricked Nick into playing.
No,
I think that's what y'all did.
It's all of
you
us.
Somehow he's a young, gullible man, and you found a way to trick him into playing this game.
Oh, it's getting big. It's getting big, baby. It's getting big.
So, if you want to play a reasonably good game, you should play Payday 2 with me. Huh?
Look at that Saran wrap. He's kept it on all night. Beautiful. Bob!
I am a man of my word.
Bob, what have you done?
We gotta get this Indicate submission wrapped up. Fuck. We got too much shit going on. I haven't really having much time.
Can we you don't want to announce that, do you?
What, we're submitting for Indicate?
Well, there it is, I guess.
It doesn't matter. We're submitting for this thing. Whether we actually get in or not, I don't fucking know. That's
all right.
We can't talk about.
Here it is. I'll tell you right now.
Sure.
Tetropolis, we're submitting for Indicate, and we're trying to be shown at E3.
The E3 and Indicate in LA in October.
Yeah. So there is a chance. There is a chance that Tetropolis will be at E3 this year. We shall see.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea. I've just been so busy all week trying to get that in and then trying to get other shit done that it's just I don't have time anymore.
So I might still be going to E3. We'll see what happens. Depends. Totally depends. Is that your final thought, Bob? Just the stress and pain. Stress and pain.
God, so much design, so much shit.
I know. Lot to do. Yeah,
E3 is next month.
E3 is next month, and
It's a month away.
we may be there. We'll see. We're not making any announcements yet, but
I'm surprised they fucking pushed the deadline that close to the E3.
I know.
Crazy.
Plane
It
tickets
actually,
and shit.
it's going to start 30 days from today.
Oh
God.
Yeah, I have to. Their deadline cuts off next week.
I know.
Thursday.
I know.
And then it's all right, when do you hear back?
Yeah. Then we have to buy
It's gonna be
plane
a week before
tickets.
E3, all right, you get in. It's oh fuck, I have to get.
Chris, do you have Justin's phone number, by the way?
They actually won't be in town for the week of E3.
Oh, are you guys getting a hotel?
No, we're staying with a very nice chatter who's actually in chat right now.
Oh, how many beds does he have?
You might have to solicit him because I don't know how much room we have.
Oh, man.
We're staying in one room.
I'm going to miss Justin and his boyfriend. God, I was looking forward to seeing them.
I know, they're going to Vegas. It's not fair.
Typical.
Not considering our needs, going to have fun on their own. Ugh.
Anyway, thank you all for coming out for cocktail time this evening. I am Joseph Christ. Thank you, Bob Webb. Thank you, Chris Davis. All of you, stick around because Brad will be coming on after we're done. He'll probably be playing some Mountain Blade because that's what he does all the time. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.